Good evening, welcome to Debates Hour with me, Robert Stanley.
Tonight we'll be discussing the idea of the liberal legal subject with reference to genital cutting.
With me tonight I have 4 guests here to talk about their opinions on genital cutting.
Hi, I'm Jomo, the former Kenyan president. I am here today to discuss female circumcision within my culture. Female circumcision is the removal of some or all of the female genitalia.
Hi, I'm James. I'm here to discuss male circumcision, which is the removal of the foreskin from the human penis.
Hi, I'm Susie and I'm an activist against genital cutting. Intersex is when a baby is born with both female and male genitalia. In Britain, this area has not been addressed by the law and therefore is regulated by the medical profession. The medical goal is to normalise these people, usually sex alignment surgery is promoted straight after birth.
Hi, I'm Richard and I'm a legal academic on these areas.
Recently there has been much debate surrounding the idea of genital cutting, with many individuals feeling that they're not protected by the law. Richard, can you explain why this is?
Issues around genital cutting have risen due to the sneaky non-neutrality of the law. The liberal legal person, as Anna Greer points out, is supposed to be a neutral, decontextualised, genderless person. However, it is inherently masculine and Western. This is a consequence of the law being created by privileged white men, who base their idealist society on their own beliefs of what normal should be. This means that people who do not fit into that norm struggle to attain legal recognition. These people are seen as marginal, inferior and different.
Most of us are familiar with the concept of male circumcision. The World Health Organization estimates that 1/3 of males undergo surgery. However, the practice of female genital mutilation has been a criminal offence in the UK since 1985. However, in some countries such as Kenya, FGM is a common practice.
Jomo, can you explain, in your opinion, on the liberal legal subject?
Firstly, I would like to refer to it as female circumcision, as FGM conveys a sense of disgust. The liberal legal subject is unneutral and ethnocentric. In Britain, women are oppressed by this. Many people disagree with female circumcision, as they believe it is a manifestation of phallacracy, as Mary Daly has suggested. This notion of the male repressing a man's sexuality cannot be acceptable and certainly not applicable within my African culture. We are not ruled or constrained by your sneaky, unneutral law. That is a Western ideal.
As Nafina said, the liberal legal subject construes females as irrational and unable to make their own decisions, so the law is needed there to protect them, whereas men don't. What do you think about this?
This is what is wrong with the liberal legal subject. It is hypocritical that it is okay for males to be circumcised and females not to be.
Exactly. I'd agree with you there, Jomo. It is very hypocritical. As Fox and Thompson point out, there is very little academic debate around male circumcision compared to female circumcision. This is because in Western cultures, masculinity is associated with the denial of men's vulnerabilities and the projection of these onto females, which explains the radical separation between male and female circumcision. It is thought that male circumcision toughens you up, as men are supposed to be able to bear pain, whereas females should be protected from this, as they are more fragile. The liberal legal subject continues to constrain itself to the normative, masculine legal person and uses male circumcision to do this.
Yes, well, this is very clear from our survey. We can see that 50% of people believe that male circumcision should be legal, whereas only 12% believe that female circumcision should be legal.
Like Savan argues, we must reject Western racism and imperialism.
Exactly. What about my right to independence and autonomy over my own body? This is diminished when I am considered by law. The legality of male circumcision and the illegality of female circumcision is law's sneaky way of reinforcing the normative approach to legal personhood. The BMA even state that they are unsure whether male circumcision is even medically beneficial, but the choice is still left up to the parents. How is this fair? Female circumcision is considered as a barbaric violation of human rights, whereas male circumcision is characterised as a mere legitimate parental choice. Both procedures are carried out for religious and cultural reasons, so why are they viewed so differently? The reason for this is to manage sexuality so that it is in line with the ideals of the liberal legal subject.
As Jane pointed out, the core of our societal structure is to protect the interests of the liberal legal subject. This can be seen recently in the Daily Mail, when they wrote an article mocking the I'm a Celeb contestants for crying when in the jungle. As Louis Michael rightly tweeted, hypermasculinity strikes again. If you keep disassociating men from emotion, it's no wonder that male suicide rates keep going up.
We've just had a tweet from Carol. She's wondering, Susie, what do you think about the issue of the liberal legal subject in relation to intersex surgery?
Well, Carol, as Norrie said, the liberal legal subject protects the interests of those that fit in with the norm, and this thus excludes intersex people from protection within the law as they do not conform to the strict gender binary. Anti-discrimination rights have been seen as a solution to the problems of intersex communities, but as Feynman notes, this just reinforces a narrow understandings of equality. We deserve to be encompassed wholly in the law, and the law should recognise all variations of people, and not just that which fit within the liberal legal subject's normative categories of female and male.
So, Richard, how do you think this issue should be addressed by the law?
Well, we can see that some states have gained a greater recognition of intersex people. Malta have recently prohibited non-therapeutic surgery on intersex children. This holistic approach challenges the power of the medical profession and demands redistributions of jurisdictional competence. The state should stop regarding intersex people as abnormal and should instead integrate them into society. This requires the reorientation of jurisdiction that would give intersex embodiment a legitimacy that is not found within medical discourse.
Well, do you think that there could be a fair category then for intersex gender?
No, this is just the problem with the liberal legal subject. We shouldn't be looking at categories. Gender is fluid. It is a spectrum, and therefore we shouldn't be defined into set gender categories. I'm aware that society will not be able to drop these categories straight away. However, a good starting point would be perhaps that individuals should be able to change the sex on their birth certificate easier if they feel like it does not correspond to their gender.
Don't you think growing up without knowing what sex you are is dangerous for the child's health?
Well, this is exactly the problem. Medical knowledge is structured by societal knowledge, and society believes it's necessary to assign individuals to a gender in order to normalise them. Perhaps if there was more awareness on this issue, then people would realise there's no medical benefits to the surgery, and it is not dangerous to let individuals choose their own gender. As the law does not explicitly state that the surgery is wrong, it is instead guided by the medical profession. This is an example of the sneaky non-neutrality of the law. The medical profession can continue to sex-align the children, and as a result continue to promote the norm being encompassed in the liberal legal subject.
Yes, exactly. My fellow activist, Pigeon Pagonis, and many other intersex people have been outcast because they don't fit into the gender norms of our society. Consequently, this has had detrimental effects on their health and well-being. If the liberal legal subject doesn't change, then these people will always be marginalised by the system in place, and surely this is more dangerous to a child's health.
Exactly. The liberal legal subject was created by white middle-class males. Thus, how can the norms of this group be generalised to the norms of a whole population? People are being blindly forced into conforming to an outdated legal system and societal norms.
Yes, well, it's clear from our survey that 50% agreed that male circumcision should be legal, whereas only 12% believe that female circumcision should be.
Yes, definitely. It is a common perception that male circumcision isn't as bad as female circumcision because females lose sexual sensitivity. However, males can lose up to 50% of sensitivity too. This highlights how we unconsciously believe what the lawmakers of the liberal legal subject want us to believe, as they want male circumcision to go ahead and female circumcision to be prohibited, as this promotes their ideals of the liberal legal subject. It could be argued that one of the most discriminated groups in this society is the middle-class white male. This is because it's harder for these men to have grounds of protest against surgery.
So, Jerome, do you think that female circumcision should be a consensual choice?
Within our African culture, uncut women are outcasts, and thus abandoning the practice is simply unthinkable. The right should not be stripped from an individual. Collier suggests that the law is not just interested in bodies, but also in controlling the behaviours that these bodies engage in, and these behaviours ensure heterosexuality. I'm sure that is what the liberal legal subject would want to uphold, as seen by the legality of male circumcision. So why deny us the right of female circumcision?
But Jerome, this is not a voluntary consensual choice. It is made from lack of knowledge and societal pressure. Just as we have Western societal norms that we need to abandon, you clearly also have them in yours. These are clearly issues that we will never agree on. However, I do think that there should be more awareness on the issue so that there is protection from genital cutting within the law without full valid consent, especially where minors are concerned.
Great, thank you for today's input on the show. This is such a complex topic, but I think the general view is that the law needs to be more neutral on this issue of genital cutting, as you cannot define what's normal. Tune in the same time tomorrow for a discussion on disability.